This is the start of Grandpa's big trip to Denmark and the Faroe Islands, starting with drop-off of Soraya and Annika. Unfortunately, Annika's not available at this time. All right.
First leg, Fairly to Lebanon.
First leg, Fairly to Lebanon. Thank you, Aaron.
Welcome, Daddy.
First leg of the trip accomplished. Fairly to the Dartmouth coach in Lebanon. On our way. Off we go. Headed to Denmark.
Good morning, everyone. We're approaching our first stop at South Station. For those getting off, please take a look around and gather all your personal belongings. Thank you for choosing to travel with Dartmouth Coach, and please enjoy the rest of your day. For those getting off at Logan, please stay seated. I'm going to do a quick drop-off, then we'll be heading to the airport.
Coach pulling away, leaving me here. I am here ridiculously early. The kiosk doesn't even open till 2:40 or 2:30, but there are people in front of me already in the line. Looking out the window at Logan. Well, this is the difference between flying US and flying international. These are not standing for these. Yep. I'm gonna lose my phone as usual. Bottle of water, a pillow, and a blanket. That's probably about $20 if you're flying to Florida. I wonder if this will be 2001: A Space Odyssey. There's an old-timey movie. Saw the movie theaters when I was like 7. Looks like we got charging port. I think I left my headphones in my carry-on. Got the poor man's first class here so far. cocktail here. A butcher net, I know. Big fish. Out into the ocean. I am going to walk up this path a little ways. See what that lighthouse has to offer. See if my worn out poor body can handle a little bit more. Ouch. Something took a nip out of me there. Oh, son of a bitch. So I don't know what that says or what the little blue guy means, though I suspect it means don't get up on these poor grasses because they're fragile and you should not do that. Alright, still on a little beach walk here. I think it's okay since I'm not on a bicycle or a motorcycle that looks like it could be from Tron. I know they've had a lot of Tron issues up here. They don't like to talk about it. I don't know if I'm going to get all the way to that lighthouse. But I got like no sleep on the plane. So I'm looking at like 26-ish, 27 hours up. I feel pretty good. But I think we'll just go up. I think we're going to go right up to here. Then we're going to turn around and go back this way. Got some decent windmills out there. Actually, those banks up onto the beach almost look like you could ski down them, which is helpful for erosion. Most skiing helps pack it down. Plastilla. I believe this was one of Swamp Thing's earliest girlfriends. Made out entirely of recycled materials. Pretty cool houses here. Nice house overlooking the beach. My hotel for the night. Pretty nice. They have actual metal keys, which I always kind of enjoy. Cute little lobby with spiral stairs going up. An elevator, which is tiny. Probably not quite teeny tiny, but tiny. And I think fairly slow. It is right on the water, well, right off the water. It's not on the water. Well, the cleaning lady, she got kind of a little jammed up in this elevator. Got some real old world vibes here. Well, I am in the old world. Okay. Down this way, on 204. this side. And in we go. Yep, I actually have been in the room. It's a cute little room. Bathroom clean, spacious. I'm pretty exhausted. Going on probably close to 23 or 20, actually more than 24. Without really sleeping. Didn't sleep on the airplane last night. Just because I didn't feel tired. It's about 3:30, 4 o'clock here. I don't know what that's their thing with beds. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. All right. I'm gonna let everybody go now. Grampy's got to rest. I might go out later. Some pretty cool stuff here in this little town. Had a pretty long, eventful day getting here. I'm in Hirschels, Denmark, which is not exactly how it's pronounced, but it's a little difficult for me to get the sound, which is pretty subtle. I flew from Boston Logan into Copenhagen Airport, and then on to Aalborg, where I then took 2 trains to get here. So it took a while. I was up for about 26 hours. It is a lovely, lovely place. I really have been enjoying myself here, right on the water, in a different than what we would be used to in America as a hotel, but a lovely, lovely place. Can hear the water, the ocean. It's been a long time since I slept with the sound of the ocean nearby. But it is really, really nice to be out on this little deck, hearing the water, seeing a little bit of the water. And it's nice and cool. The room doesn't have AC, which I don't really need tonight, but it gets a little stuffy without the ability to come out on this little balcony, which just runs. Just love that sound though. I should really try to be places where I can hear that more often. The room is kind of cool. The balcony is literally not as long as my foot. And if I were to go over that railing, that would be a disaster. I think the ferry is out that way tomorrow. And I think I would just say goodnight here. Waking up. Getting to be 5:30. Slept pretty good. Tossed and turned probably since about 4 o'clock. Pretty excited to get up today and head out to the ferry. Gonna be on the ferry, going to the Faroe Islands for about 2 days or so, a little bit less. And I'm looking forward to this quite a bit. All right, I might just relax a little bit before I get up. All right, headed down for breakfast. Beautiful day. I know I'm talking like a vlogger. I don't really mean to do that. Okay, let's take a look out on my balcony. I just really get a kick out of the balcony. Good morning from breakfast. All right, done with breakfast. Gonna get on a sweatshirt and walk around town just a little bit. Gonna get some supplies for the ferry, some snacks, maybe a little something more substantial, so I don't have to eat all of the food from the ferry, which I hear is pretty reasonable and very, very good. All right, talk to you later. There's the lobby downstairs. A little eclectic. We got a motorcycle. And I'm not 100% sure what this is. If I had to guess, I would say some sort of distilling process. A little bit of a bar behind the reception. All right, we're gonna head downtown now. So tired yesterday that I did some but not a lot of documentation of my trip. It's a little cool, but actually feels really nice. Gonna walk down to a grocery store I saw, and then I think maybe a little bit of a walk on the beach. Start getting packed up. I suspect I could get on the ferry maybe 2 hours before we depart, but I do want to make sure that I do get on the ferry. I still worry when I'm traveling, like, am I 100% sure that we're leaving at 3 o'clock, despite the fact that I've checked it approximately 10,000 times? I don't know if that's a little bit of obsessiveness, because I'm not known for that. In fact, I usually say I have reverse OCD. I don't really give a crap where anything is. As I get older, I'm a little more aware of where I put things. I still manage to lose things constantly. Around, what time is it here? It is a little after 7. Pretty quiet. Feel a nice breeze coming off the ocean though. I know probably everybody knows that, including me, but man, there are a lot of bicycles on in this country. A lot of people, and a lot of older people, and I don't mean like my age, I mean people who you would think need mobility scooters, scooting all around on their bicycles. Alright, this is the way I came in last night on my way to find my hotel, where I did stumble around a little bit, but did finally find it. Really, really nice place. And I'm not regretting my decisions here, but boy, it would be nice to just explore Denmark. Copenhagen looks amazing, even though I basically was just at the airport. And public transportation here is just so far beyond what I'm used to. I didn't film on the train yesterday. I will on the way back, but the cars are just pristine and to the minute on times. Just like you could tell what exit you were going to be by what time was on your clock. I'm sure that doesn't happen all the time, but they were very, very efficient. I went in a little on this place Netto's yesterday, which was nice. And then I am going to go down to near where I think I might just go to the train station, show that. I like that. Does feel almost video game like here, because there are a ton of apartments and businesses, and I don't see anybody. Now it is Sunday morning, so they could be in church or sleeping. Disoriented. I thought I could walk right back to the train station, and not 100% positive I'm doing that directly. Alright, this is definitely not the way I came into town. I did say that there was no fooling around with jaywalking, which I discovered yesterday when I was in Aalborg trying to get to the train station. The light was red. There was no traffic either way, and nobody was making any movement to cross against the light. Where in Boston, people just almost stream through and there's moving traffic. I really like the glass. There's a lot of these buildings all have sort of open to the outside, little inside balconies, which I think feels like a good idea. I'm guessing that they have some light issues in the winter when it gets dark, and you probably want to get all the sort of sunshine and light that you need. Will say, oh, there's where it is. It's right down here. You know, unlike when I've been in Canada and the signs aren't French, I can usually pick something up. All right, a lot of the words are very similar, but here, except for yeah, that's the only thing I've heard that resembles English. Alright, so now we're coming down to where the train station is. Alright, there's the train. This is the way I came. And And this is end of the line for here. Oh, we got some more cool mermaid, you know. Don't seem to have any trouble with full frontal nudity in public. This is a nice little place. And I'm going to just briefly walk over here to the train station also. I've been following a guy named Steve Marsh, who's a travel vlogger from Scotland, and this trip was inspired by in part, or almost wholly in some ways, around his trip that he did on the ferry to Iceland to stop in the Faroe Islands. And it is funny to see, oh, I'm there, I was there. And I swear I saw someone in his last video that I saw on the train yesterday. And got a ton of bike infrastructure, a nice little place to tuck yourself in from the rain. And there, which I missed yesterday, is a sign pointing you towards the ferry that I'll take it. And there's another ferry too that goes to, I think, to Norway. I think that there are like no attendants. It's all kiosk. Okay, now I'm gonna head back towards the hotel and grab some supplies first, I think, and then make sure I got everything packed up. Take a little stroll on the beach. I will say taking wheelie luggage over this was not the easiest thing I've ever done. I'm torn between walking to the ferry, which is not that far. Double check it. I think like between 1.5 miles and 2 miles. And just taking an Uber just to get there. I just feel like carrying all the stuff I'm carrying is very cumbersome. I was dropping shit all over yesterday. Of course, being up 24 hours plus probably did not help that. Anyway, maybe it's a seasonal town too, the reason there's not so many people here. Definitely looks like it is set up for sort of a summertime beach tourist. Though for me, this is a great time of year to go to one of those places. The weather is still perfectly comfortable for me. Not a great one to be laying on the beach. Ooh, that's the most noise I've heard all morning. I think we're going to try Super Bergensen. Okay, I have to try this. It's classic chocolate milk in a can. Grab Coke. Nope, no sugar added. Alright, for the time being I'm gonna abandon filming while I'm in here. Just too awful. Alright, a successful trip here. Though I couldn't use the self-checkout. It was just a little too confusing in Danish for me. Alright, I couldn't help myself. I'm gonna have the classic chocolate milk in a can. Probably completely normal here. That's chocolate milk. Actually pretty good. I am gonna walk out this way where there looked like access to a beach. I'm gonna try to get a little walk on the beach. Nice and windy here. I just love the shadow on the wall there. Like a little caravan campground in there. Or that is just a happy circumstance, or is that a sort of a place? I mean, I would camp there. I am getting to feel it's kind of meadow when, you know, you see other people doing exactly what you're doing. Hope the cameras don't cross over and cause a split in the space-time continuum, which I'm always concerned about. I know it's very unlikely, but be very costly. Now, I don't know what this is about. The sauna boat. Hey, how are you? Very well, thank you. Sand is moving. Damn, it is moving all. Ooh, I can't see it that way, but it really hit me right in the face. This is inspired, if that's the right word, of several black towers that were here during WW2 and were part of the German defense system. I am going to just take a walk up on it because I really can't resist it. I don't see anything that says I can't do it. to board the ferry. Ocean is, I don't think it's too wild. I decided to walk here from my hotel today, which was about a little under 2 miles. And I got caught in a little bit of a rainstorm, and an older Danish man stopped and said, in Danish, but he said, going to the ferries. And he said the name of the ferry. I said, yeah. He says, oh, I'll take you. So he kept pointing at his ear. He was deaf and didn't speak a word of English, but talked to me, talked my ear off. Narrowly missed rear-ending somebody, but he got me here safe and dry. That's why I do some of the things I do.